Hello viewers, welcome to my channel, Online Biology Tutorials. In this live of today, we will be studying what is nervous system, how is it made up of, what are the components of the nervous system, what are the divisions, what are the types of nervous system that are present in us, how does a neuron or a nerve cell looks like, and the basic term like dendron, dendrites, what is synapse. So we will be studying the introductory part of the control and coordination. In case you are in class 10th, in case you have biology in class 11th, then this is one video that will be helping you with the introductory part of the nervous system. So without further ado, let's begin with the nervous system. As you can see that the word system is mentioned, that means nervous system is an example of an organ system. And we know that organ system is made by the combination of organs, and organs are made by the collection of tissues, and tissues are made up by the aggregation or the combination of the cells. Now, if we are talking about the nervous system, the cells will be the nerve cells, and these can also be known as neurons. Please do not get confused with nephron. Okay, nephron should not be a part of nervous system. Nephron is a structural and functional unit of the excretory system. So if nerve cells or neurons, they are aggregated, they will be forming a tissue, and that tissue will be known as nervous tissue. Now, if you talk about organs, the tissue will be collectively forming the organs, and the organs of nervous system are brain, then we have spinal cord, and also we have nerves. Okay, as we will study further the types of nervous system, we will be talking about brain, spinal cord, and nerves once again. And obviously, by the aggregation of brain, spinal cord, nerves, we will be having nervous system. What is the main function of the nervous system? Nervous system helps in the control and coordination, and so is the name of the class 10 chapter. Chapter number 6, control and coordination, because there are two systems in the body that help in control and coordination. So, make a point that nervous system is the one that helps in control and coordination. Let's explain you what is control and coordination. If you notice the functioning of eye, we have other four sense organs as well other than eye. So we have eye, we have nose, we have ears, we have tongue, and we have skin. Now, your eyes, you have studied in the physics in the human eye and the colorful world that your convex lens of the eye has the ability of forming the real and the inverted image. This information goes to the cerebrum, which is the part of the forebrain, and it has got a visual area which is making the image erect, because we don't see the word inverted, right? We see the erect image of every object. So why is it possible? Because the retina sends the image, whatever the information is, electrical impulse it has made, with the help of optic nerve, it will go to the brain. To the brain, it will go specifically to the cerebrum. In the cerebrum, it will go specifically to the visual area where the image will be made upright. So, who has done the control and coordination? Obviously, brain. So, sense organs are very much there in the body, but they cannot function on their own until they will not coordinate with the nervous system or the endocrine system. So make it a point that nervous system helps in the control and coordination. Now, types of nervous system is also very much there in the syllabus of class 10. So in the types of nervous system, there are two basic types of it. One is central nervous system, central nervous system, and then we have peripheral nervous system. So in place of writing it full, I'm not able to write here. I don't know what is the fault here. So it is going to be central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Now this central nervous system is further being divided into two parts. One is brain and the other is the spinal cord. The other is the spinal cord. So brain, you know the location of it. It is inside the skull. Okay, it is a muscular part. You should also know the location of spinal cord. Spinal cord is present inside the backbone. So because it is a delicate part and it is performing the function of control and coordination, so it is protected by the bones of the vertebral column. Now, if you talk about the peripheral nervous system, it includes the nerves. So nerves will be of two types. One that emerges from the brain are known as cranial nerves, and the one that emerges from the spinal cord are known as the spinal nerves. Also, you should know the number that there are 12 cranial nerves in the case of human and 31 spinal nerves. However, rarely a question comes in class 10th, but it is good to know because in few reference books this number has been mentioned. So, nervous system has been divided into two parts: central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system is divided into brain and spinal cord. Spinal cord is present inside the backbone, and peripheral nervous system includes the nerves. It includes two type of nerves: cranial nerves and the spinal nerves. Cranial nerves will be emerging from the brain and spinal nerves will be emerging from the spinal cord. You know, the other name of skull is cranium also, right? The hard bony part of the head is known as cranium or skull. That is why we can correlate cranial nerves with the brain. Now, this brain has been divided further into three parts, which is forebrain, which is the largest part of the brain, then midbrain, and then the hindbrain. Hindbrain is the one which is present at the back. So I will be making a specific video on the brain. This is just to let you know the types of the nervous system and a brief intro about the brain and the spinal cord. So brain has got three parts and forebrain is going to be the largest part of the brain. Brain is muscular and it is protected by the skull. Skull is also known as cranium, and spinal cord is also a part of central nervous system and it is protected by the backbone. Peripheral nervous system only includes the nerves. So nerves are of two types. It could be cranial nerves or it could be spinal nerves. Cranial nerves will be emerging from the brain and spinal nerves will be emerging from the spinal cord. Now, let's begin with the making of the neuron. The structure of neuron is very important for a class 10th student. So it has got two main parts. So I'm making, and you can also practice along with me by taking a notebook. And then once we are done with the making, we will be doing the labeling. So this is how you can make the general structure of a neuron. I hope the diagram is very much clear. We will be labeling once all the parts will be made. This part I am making branches further so that it should be clearer to you. What is it? And then this delicate part will be protected. Hello Asif, thank you for joining. So this is the sheath that is there on a neuron. Let's begin with the labeling. Now, this terminal part, right? This terminal part is going to be named as cyton. So a neuron has a structure at the top which is known as cyton. This cyton is also known as soma. and we can also call it as a cell body. So in case you get another terms, you should be clear that they are talking about soma only. So cyton, soma, and cell body means one and the similar. Obviously, this is structure which is seen, it is there in the cyton known as nucleus. So make sure that if a question comes, where is nucleus present in the cyton or a soma, then you should mention the name of this. So nucleus is present in the soma, cyton, or the cell body. All these parts which I am coloring right now, these parts, right? These are the places where the cyton is forming a small branch, and these are known as dendrons. Dendrons, okay? And here, this part where it has been shown to you that dendron is being branching. So I have just made one branch to save the time. Similarly, you can also do in the exam. So these are known as dendrites. Very important. You know, as I just spoke that dendrites, the sense organs, they do not work on their own, they need to work in coordination with the brain. So these dendrites, they are present in all the five sense organs that we have, be it eye, nose, ear, your tongue, your skin. So if a question comes that where are neurons present in the body, I hope you are clear with it that they are present throughout the body, right? So their number is more concentrated in the brain. Their number is more concentrated in the spinal cord. But this is the truth that neurons, they are present throughout the body. That is why your body is able to sense. If any part of the body, if anything, I mean, you get injured on any part of your skin, you get a sensation because they have neurons inside it. So this part should be clear to you. The other name of dendrites is receptors. So these are the receptors which are resting in your sense organs, and they help in picking up the information from outside. So they help in picking the information exactly from stimulus. Now, if you see this part, I'm just coloring it, this part, this cylindrical structure, this is known as axon. This is a long cylindrical structure, and on outside it is covered by a layer which is known as myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is actually a layer of fat which is just covering the axon, right? And these are the Schwann cells which are present. Schwann cells which are present on the myelin sheath. And the last part, these are known as the nerve endings. Okay, these are the nerve endings. So let me talk about all the structures again. Broadly speaking, a neuron is divided into two parts, cyton and the axon. Cyton may contain small structures which are dendrons, and dendrons branches to form the dendrites. Dendrites are also known as the receptors, and these rest upon our sense organs. Nucleus is present inside the cyton, and this cytoplasm of the neuron, it is known as neuroplasm. Neuroplasm. This cylindrical structure is known as axon. Some of the neurons may be protected outside by a myelin sheath. So if the neuron is having the myelin, such a neuron is known as myelinated. And the one that lacks or does not have the myelin, that is known as non-myelinated. Okay. So axon on the outside, it contains a layer of fat which is myelin sheath. Remember that if you are making the myelin sheath, see here, I have made and then stopped. I have made and then stopped. So it is not a regular layer. At places it is absent. So the place where it is absent, that place is known as node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier. wear. Okay. Now, as this has become cumbersome, so I will be speaking and drawing now. So I am making a neuron again, and I am not going to label this diagram. I will just be speaking so that each part should be clearer to you. So this terminal part is known as cyton, soma, or cell body, and this cylindrical structure is known as axon. These structures are known as dendrons, and when they show branching, they form dendrites. Dendrites are also known as the receptors. So dendrites, dendrons, cyton, nucleus is clear. This cytoplasm of a neuron is known as neuroplasm. Axon is protected outside by a layer of fat, and this layer of fat is known as myelin sheath. Remember, whenever you are making, it should not be continuous. You need to stop in between, right? The way I have made. So the places where it is not present is known as node of Ranvier, right? So this is myelin. In case a neuron has myelin, it is known as myelinated. In case myelin is not present, it is known as non-myelinated. The cells which are present, marked as the dots here, these are known as Schwann cells. The last part of the axon is known as nerve endings. Okay, so all these parts should be drawn. Now, let me tell you what is actually a synapse. Synapse. So neurons are connected end to end. Okay, I'm making a neuron. Complete labeling is not required in case synapse is asked to you. This is one neuron. And I'm changing the color so that it could be clear to you that ma'am is drawing the another neuron. Then one more to make you clear. I hope this diagram is very much visible to you. So you can see that neurons are present end to end. So this end to end arrangement of a neuron where the axon of one is resting upon the dendrite of another. I have not shown the branches, but obviously dendrites would have been there if you have just seen the video in which I have labeled just 2-3 minutes back. I have already told that dendrites are there. So axon of one neuron is resting upon the dendrite of another. This type of arrangement is known as synapse, and even at your level, the space that is present is also known as synapse. Right? So this end-to-end arrangement of the neuron is creating a gap in between. This is known as synapse. And how is the information going to travel? It will be first received by the receptors or the dendrites, then it will move to the dendron, then it will move to the cyton, then it will move to the axon, then it will come to the synapse, and then it will move to another in the same way. Means it will go to the another one, another dendrites of the another neuron. So this will go on and on and on until it will not reach its destination, right? So the gap which is present by this end-to-end arrangement, this is known as synapse, and the information that is being picked up by the dendrites, which are also known as receptors, which are present in our sense organs, they help in the transmission of the information, transmission of the impulse basically from the dendrites to dendron to cyton to axon to synapse and then to another set in a way like this has been written. So it will go on till the time information has not been processed. Another important thing that dendrites are also known as receptors. Dendrites are also known as receptors and they are present in all the sense organs of our body. And what is their job? They help in picking up the information from the stimulus and they will generate an impulse in the body. So a current, an electrical current is generated in the body as soon as the receptors they pick up the information from the stimulus. This is known as electrical impulse and this impulse will be traveling along this pathway. There are two receptors which are being mentioned. So these are gustatory receptors. Many a times the question in the board examination has been asked on this. Gustatory receptors and the olfactory receptors. Olfactory receptors. So receptors, as I told, is the another name of the dendrites only. So gustatory receptors are present in the tongue and olfactory receptors are present in our nose. In case you are from class 10th and watching this video, you can come to the playlist section of my channel. I have got a lot more recordings of the complete video series on each chapter. It will be helpful to you. So in this video, we talked about what is the composition of the nervous system, what are the types of the nervous system, how does a neuron looks like, what are the various parts of a neuron, and what is impulse, what is stimulus, and how is the impulse transmission, what is the direction, and how it passes from one component to the another. In case this video helped, do hit the like button. Stay connected with my channel so that you can have the recent updates. See you in next live where I will be discussing in detail the functioning of the brain and the functioning of the spinal cord. Thank you.